I'm bad at introductions, so no introduction. Hi! So it's been a while, like a year since I posted something, but the catch is with that is that the last thing I posted, I filmed about 4 years ago. So it's actually been a very long time since I've ever filmed anything, which is great. I'm totally out of practice. How does one do this? Also, you may be perceptive enough to notice that something is different here. I am currently not in cosplay, so hi, this is me. I'm normal right now. The reason for that is because I came up with an idea for a new potential series that I might be doing. What if I combine the whole get ready with me videos that you see everywhere with cosplay? And it's a get ready with me in cosplay video, but that's very long. So I was just gonna call it OC with me because I'd be getting into original character cosplays as opposed to canon character cosplays. Because if none of you have been following me on Instagram or TikTok, the only two places that I'm actually really active right now, I've leaned more towards cosplaying original character content instead of canon cosplays because it's just more of a creative outlet and you have a lot more freedom and can do whatever you want. It's basically I have control and I like having control, which sounds really bad, but it's fine. So anyway, because this is the first installment, if I decide to make this a thing, I'm just gonna talk about the beginning of things. Meaning like the beginning of cosplay and how I started cosplaying and what cosplay is and what an original character is and how that whole thing works because I can ramble about that no problem and I am an expert on rambling. The character I'll be doing I have only done once before, so this will be experimental. It was a spontaneous unicorn look that I came up with when I made a unicorn horn one time, and that's a whole story in itself. I don't think I named her. Did I name her? I don't think I did. Some random character I came up with just because I wanted to play with fancy makeup and a unicorn horn that I made. So that's how OCs really are made. You just want to try this one thing, so you decide I'm gonna make a whole character on that. So it's really simple. So first thing is moisturize your face. Well, first you clean it, but I already did that. So like wash your face or don't. I honestly, sometimes I wash my face, sometimes I don't. You could, it depends on how my skin feels and just kind of what I feel like doing. So that's a great start. So we moisturize. Then we have the option of primer, which again, I sometimes use primer, sometimes I don't. It depends on how long I'll be wearing the look for, what I'll be using it for. There's all these like different aspects that add into if I will use primer or not. I use e.l.f. primer. I will be using a lot of e.l.f. products because they're inexpensive and they are decent quality, so like, eh. I also didn't used to wear makeup like on a daily basis, so I have no need to spend a lot of money on it. So we have moisturizer, primer, then we use foundation, which, surprise, I use e.l.f. foundation. Now I guess we can get into the topic of cosplay. First, what is cosplay? The basic question that everyone asks. The word itself is literally costume play, which is kind of self-explanatory. It's not LARPing, which is live action role-playing, which is more like immersive than cosplay. Cosplay is more like based on like the costume and makeup aspect of things instead of like acting like the character, which people sometimes do, but it's not like a part of the entire community. Not everyone does that. There is no real like set rules to cosplay. It's just like do what you want and have fun and be a decent human being as you're being a nerd and running around as a person who you are not. So yeah, we are set with powder. And then we move on to contour. Yeah, that's basically what cosplay is. Just dress up as fictional character from said work of fiction and have fun with however intense you want to do it. You could do a very casual closet cosplay as they're called. And then you have those who get wigs and colored contacts and aspire to be more accurate in depicting that fictional character. You could buy your outfits, you could make your outfits. It depends on your skill set and what you want to achieve with cosplaying. Oh yeah, also, I use the e.l.f. contour palette. Surprise! So, how I got into cosplay is by just seeing a lot of cosplaying videos on YouTube, actually. I used to watch a lot of cosplayers on YouTube. I could make a list. There were so many. I don't remember the very first one that I watched. No, I have no idea what the first one was that I watched, but it was a long time ago. I think I first discovered it back in like 2013. So it's like been 7 years since I learned what cosplaying was, and I started cosplaying within a year, I would say, of discovering all of it. And of course there's the question that everyone wants to know is, what was your first cosplay? If we're being very technical, it was an original character before I even know what an original character was. I bought a random black wig and a pair of silver contacts. The wig was actually a Lelouch wig from Code Geass, but I hadn't watched that show at the time. But I just bought it because I wanted a black wig and I wanted silver contacts. I don't think I even had like a real reason why. I just thought the eyes looked cool and the hair looked cool, so I wanted that. So that kind of started the whole thing. And then my very first official canon cosplay was Ciel Phantomize, which I feel like is a very common first cosplay for a lot of people. Oh, makeup. So yeah, Ciel Phantomize, which is funny because I wasn't even that big of a fan of Black Butler. I liked Sebastian, still like Sebastian, he's pretty cool. I just wanted to be Ciel Phantomize because I saw a lot of other people being Ciel Phantomize on YouTube, so that was a great reason. I learned I'm a little bit of a copycat, so I also started a Ciel Phantomize series, which was called Phantomhive Diaries. That's actually where this whole channel started. Oh, this is such a cringy time. I don't like thinking back to these because like I think I've removed them all from the channel. They're all private now, no one can see them. Also, I should say, originally I did not wear makeup in high school at all, so I had no experience in makeup, so cosplay was basically how I learned how to do makeup, which is a very interesting starting avenue. I'm also very sloppy when it comes to makeup, so I'm not expecting this look to come out like 100% amazing, but it's just the first thing I wanted to do. Kleenex box works very well to get your mirror to the proper level so you can actually look at it. Oh my goodness, I just remembered. Also, I did on this YouTube channel, I did a cosplay music video with random OC looks before I even knew what OCs were again. That video is also privated, so you can't watch it, but it was very cringy and I did have fun making it, but like, no thank you. My makeup was horrible and I don't know what was going on, so that's in the past, in the history, no one will ever know, don't worry about it. And it's at this point that I realized I forgot to do my concealer. And can we guess what the brand of concealer is? It's e.l.f. This video is just like me exposing my e.l.f. addiction. This is a perfect example of me not being a good influence on people because I forgot to put my contacts in. Always put your contacts in first before you do your makeup. I can put contacts in really quickly and it's not a problem, but if you can't do that and you have to like try multiple times to get the contact in your eye, always put it in before you do makeup. A lot of my older cosplays were like complete messes and I hate looking back on them because they're so cringy, but I mean, everyone starts somewhere. So yeah, later as I continued cosplaying, I just kept watching all the people on YouTube and then started Instagram and then just used that as an example of how to grow my knowledge of cosplay. And because of like work and school and college and life in general, when I say I've been cosplaying for like 6 or 7 years, it doesn't mean the full time I've been cosplaying, because of course you take breaks, you go to college, you have months where you don't even touch a wig. Fast forward through the years and I just cosplayed random characters from different fandoms. I've done so many that it's actually hard for me to think of a lot of them. And now I have a wig obsession and a lot of makeup that I don't use on a daily basis, so welcome to the life of a cosplayer. What else is there to cosplay? Oh, conventions. Duh, I'm stupid. I'm gonna just generalize as if people don't know anything about cosplay and conventions and anything like that. So like, if I repeat what you already know, then just ignore it. I'm just confirming what you know. This is a bad idea to do eyeliner and talk at the same time. So yes, conventions. Where do I start? There are anime conventions or video game conventions that cosplayers will go to and cosplay certain characters from shows and stuff, like I mentioned. Most of the reason why a lot of cosplayers actually work on their outfits is to go to the conventions and basically show off, look what I worked on for months at a time. I've only actually been to 3 different conventions because they are expensive and they take a lot of time, and sometimes they don't happen at like the most convenient point in the year, so you're not able to go because of your schedule and stuff. But the very first convention I went to was SakuraCon, which is actually like one of the bigger conventions on the West Coast, so that was an experience. There was another convention I went to. It was just a one-day, smaller college type convention down in California when I was at college. And then the other one I went to was another small one-day convention, and that was Chibi Chibi Con, and that was actually really, really fun. It was a very last-minute, spontaneous convention to rush to because I contacted some of my other cosplayer friends that I know to see if I could hitch a ride with them, because at the time I didn't have a car and I wanted to go because I just needed a convention, and it had been a couple of years since I had been to one last, because I think I had just gotten back from college at that point, and I just wanted some social interaction. And it was a few months before SakuraCon, so it was like the pre-convention to the big convention, so I wanted to test out different cosplays there. Why? I was doing so well! That's why. It's because I was doing well. You know, the more I think about it, the more I think it's just been a price that has been keeping me from doing a lot of things. Like, I haven't gone to Comic-Con or any of those, but that's more just because, like, I'm not interested in, like, meeting the celebrities or getting autographs from them. It's more just getting to know other cosplayers and just seeing all the other cosplays, pretty much, actually. I think I had already been cosplaying for like 3 years or so before I even considered going to a convention, just because the whole social aspect a little bit intimidated me, because I only knew 2 other people that kind of cosplayed, and then my brother, who watched some anime, would go with me, but it was just the fact of like not knowing anyone and not feeling comfortable to go to a social environment like that. This is why you don't follow my lead, because I do things wrong and then end up taking off the eyeliner that I just put on. Let me think, is there anything else I need to mention with conventions? They're expensive, but they're fun. It's where most people are social and meet other cosplayers, or you can show off what you worked on. You know, I can never get fake eyelashes to work. I don't know what it is, but fake eyelashes just hate me. I've tried multiple times. You know what? I just realized I should have done like the who, what, when, where, and why of cosplay. We're gonna pretend that that was the whole intention, because I already did the what is cosplay and where you cosplay. So now, who can cosplay? That's really easy. Anyone can cosplay. It's literally just like saying who can write a story, who can paint a picture. It's a normal hobby, so like anyone can do it. It's just a little more involved and sometimes more challenging than other stuff. You have to be skilled when it comes to makeup. You have to know how to be wise about shopping online for wigs and outfits. You have to sometimes have sewing skills if you want to make stuff. It's just all these different aspects that are combined together that make it kind of tricky. So sure, anyone can cosplay, but you have to have a realistic expectation and know that it's pretty involved. Lipstick and eyeliner, 2 things that I cannot talk while putting on, so 1 minute. Okay, so we have eyeshadow, eyeliner, eyes, eyelashes, eyebrows, lips, contour, highlighter that you can kind of see but kind of not. I think it is now time to change into the outfit and then put on the wig. A detail I also forgot to mention is the horn that I will be gluing onto my head, because she is a unicorn. Oh! I'm glad I have a reference picture, because I totally forgot that this character that I've done once before, I gave her like these markings on her face that I sometimes like to do. So we're gonna do that now. Don't ask me why I did the strange design things, I just felt like it. And this wig is also from Arda. I only have a few Arda wigs, but I like this one, I think, out of all of them. It definitely has like a Morticia vibe. And before I forget, I have a unicorn horn to glue onto my forehead, which probably could have taken off the makeup on the center of my forehead before I did this. Half of her hair covers her face, so they will never know that I messed up on that side of my face. And it looks like we're done. So here's the random black unicorn OC that I made up like a few months ago, just spontaneously. I made the unicorn horn for another character, which I'll get into later, I guess. Chances are I will probably be doing more of these in the future, because it gives me an excuse to play with makeup and dress up as my OCs. I could even end up talking about them a bit at the end, so you can get a little more detail about them if they have details. She does not. Also, let me know if you want me to turn it into more of like a makeup tutorial type thing where I explain the process of doing things and what colors I'm using and what palettes and all those fancy stuff. Let me know if you like that, or if you don't really care and just want to watch the makeup happen and listen to me speak for a long time. Now we come to the point of the video where it is the dreaded ending, where I cannot say words and end up rambling for the next 10 minutes as I try to close the video and think of a good ending. You know, it always annoys me whenever YouTubers be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I get why they do it, because it helps the YouTube algorithm to know that this is a video people are interested in. Everyone already knows what to do, so do that if you want. If not, honestly, don't care. You can go away. But yeah, anyway, I'm more active on Instagram and TikTok if you want to follow me there, and you can even request OCs that I do on those platforms for me to get ready here. I know I have a lot to choose from. There's a pirate, there's a siren, there's a garden fairy, which I did a while ago. I can make up other OCs if you guys want. I can create an OC as I'm filming and show you kind of my process in doing that. I don't know. Well, I hope you enjoyed my random ramblings. I'll be back sometime doing something. See you later.